I feel like I'm chosen. I'm covered in gold. We really do live in a world of suffering. There is no doubt about that. People are really suffering. We live in a world where some people truly feel alone. It's not easy for them to connect with other people. Like, humans suffer in so many different ways in this reality. It's like everything is a trap. You try to escape suffering, you suffer. Like, you cannot not suffer. That's the thing. Like, everything is a trap. Like, it needs to get to a point where you just choose your suffering. But the truth is, you suffer no matter what you do. If you're going to choose to be alone, you still suffer. You're going to get lonely sometimes. You're going to want human connection, right? So you're going to suffer because of that. Sometimes you're going to want to talk to someone. So you're going to suffer. You're a human. Human beings have needs. You decide that, well, you know what, I'm going to socialize and have as many friends as possible. You still suffer because people suck. You know, people are going to gossip about you. People are going to screw you over. People are going to betray you. We live in the realm of suffering. Like, no matter what you do, you're still going to suffer. There is nothing that you can do to avoid suffering. You must understand that. But there are some people who actually suffer more than others in this world. Maybe because they don't fit in. Maybe because they are not understood by a lot of people. They grow up being misunderstood. Their parents didn't understand them. Their friends didn't understand them. Their teachers didn't understand them. Like, the world has never seen anything like them before. So people don't know how to treat them. It's hard for them to cope because they don't live in a world that was built by people like them. You see? So it's like the world wasn't built for people like them. It was built for normal people. So they suffer a lot because they can't connect with other people. People are judging them. You know, some people think they're crazy. Some people hate them. You know, some people hate them for no reason. But they're good people. They don't hate anyone. They don't judge anyone. They do not gossip about anyone. But people hate them. They understand things that normal people do not understand. They see what's causing the problems that exist in this world. They know how we can fix the problems that we have in this world. They're not easy to manipulate. They see things as they are. They're very conscious. Sometimes it feels like they're being targeted. See, when you're different, people can sense that you're different. Like, people can easily sense that you are different. So they will observe you. You know, they will be curious about you. Like, what's his deal? What's up with him? What's up with her? Who is she dating? Where does she come from? Like, it would seem like there are people who want to know what's going on in your life. Strangers will ask you strange questions. Sometimes you find yourself in situations where it feels like there are people who plan for you to be in that kind of a situation. You are unique. People are curious about you. It's like you are an alien. You are vibrating in a very, very high frequency, and people can see that. Animals stare at you for some reason. Like, when animals see you, they just stop and stare like this. Babies stare at you. And never look away, they just stare at you. Like, weird things happen to you. Things that you know are not normal. Things that you know don't really happen to other people. So for a person who has experienced life like that, it is very tempting to believe that you're chosen, right? Like, you are here on earth for a very important reason. Maybe you are here to wake people up. Maybe you are here to help people see the truth. Maybe you are here to heal people. Maybe you are here to break generational curses. It is tempting to believe that you were chosen. So when you come across a video online of someone talking about you're chosen, that is why people don't understand you. That is why you are alone. That's why you have no friends. It's because you're chosen. You are different. You are vibrating at a much higher frequency. Like, it is tempting to believe that, because that makes you feel good, right? I was chosen before I came here. Like, listening to someone telling you that you're chosen strokes your ego, right? You feel better. You don't feel like a weirdo anymore. You don't feel like there's something wrong with you anymore. You don't feel so alone anymore, because, well, there are a lot of people who believe that they're chosen. So you're like, hey, you were chosen too? Damn, I'm not alone. I was chosen. What we need to understand about this world is that we are really in a trap. Like, we are really, really in a trap. This is some kind of a matrix, and this matrix has so many tricks that it is using to keep people trapped. Like, it has so many tricks. The idea is to make people believe that they are having a positive experience. They were not brought here for a bad reason. Like, now you're having a positive experience. Yeah, there is something that wants humanity to be saved. So it sends, some people into this realm to actually, help guide humanity. So that's why these people feel alone, is because they're here for a higher purpose. They can't just be average. They just can't roll with average people, because they're here for a higher purpose. So they need to build their own tribes and become leaders of these tribes and help people ascend. Like, it's most likely that Because the Matrix also want intelligent people, because the Matrix also want conscious people, people who are talented to, be part of this realm. Some of these people, because they're very conscious, they're going to see the BS, they're going to see what is actually going on. It is going to be easy for them to see if something is actually wrong. So the Matrix wants people who are going to become great artists, people who are going to write, great lyrics, poems, books. But these people, because they are supposed to be conscious, they are going to see if there is something that is wrong, because that's to them conscious. They are conscious than average people. And remember, the Matrix was created for the average people, but then there also needs to be these people who are going to make great music, right? These talented people, these people who are intuitive. So because they are supposed to see things that other people do not see, they're supposed to feel things that other people do not feel, they're supposed to sense things that other people do not sense, what happens? It's hard for them to connect with other people. It's hard to make friends. Other people are going to think, you're weird. You're weird. And they're going to feel alone, right? So it's going to be hard for them to make friends. Some of them, when they get older, they become very anxious. You find that when they were young, they were very friendly and very social, but because of what they had to go through, they became very anxious because of how people treated them, because of how different they are. You see, they are vibrating at a much higher frequency, and other people don't know how to treat them. And they don't understand why other people are not treating them the way that they want to be treated. They don't understand how other people do not understand them, because they are so damn intelligent. So they understand themselves very well. This kind of people understand themselves very, very well. But they don't understand how other people do not understand them. They don't realize that some, other people are like really, really vibrating at a very low frequency. Like they can't understand them. Listen, we live in a world, full of traps, and people fall into these traps. And once they fall into these traps, they don't know how to get out. So it's hard for them to connect with people in other traps. You know what I mean? That's why we have religions, different religions. If you fall into the trap of Islam, it's hard for you to connect with a Christian. It's hard for you to connect with a Buddhist, with a Hindu. It's hard because you're falling into your own traps. So how are they going to understand you? You're different. You don't really have, like, this Matrix doesn't know where to trap you. You understand? Because if it puts you in Christianity, you're gonna easily see that, oh, this is BS. It tries to trap you in Islam, you see that it's BS. Hindu, you see that it's, and it's not like really. I mean, some religions can like really help you ascend, but still. Matrix thing. Oh, actually, I have an idea. What if we make these people believe that they were chosen? I mean, that should work. Imagine if they believe that they were chosen. They are here for a higher purpose. That's why they are able to see the BS. They are able to see what is going on in this realm. It's because they were chosen. I feel like I'm chosen. I'm covered in gold. Ever heard this song by Travis Scott? I think it's called Yours Mate, something like that. I remember when I first discovered about the chosen ones. The chosen ones. I came across a channel on YouTube called Spiritual Soul. Spiritual Soul in the building. That was back in 2018, 2019. He's like, gays are in the building. I haven't watched these videos in like forever, but I remember he used to speak to the chosen ones. Spiritual Soul. And most of these channels, talk about, things that are actually going on in the world. People can actually wake up watching these guys talk about the nonsense that's going on in the world, but I think it's another trap. I think believing that you're chosen can be a trap in itself. Why? Because we are being manipulated on so many levels. So let's say you start to believe that you're chosen, and it starts to make complete sense to you that I was chosen. I was chosen. I was here to save the world. I was here to save humanity. You believe that on a subconscious level. What's going to happen when you leave this realm? You probably meet entities that are going to convince you that, yeah, you were chosen. You were chosen. You did well, but you need to go back and work on this and that. You did very well, but you need to go back and work on this and that. Is it? Because to be chosen, someone must have chose you, right? It means someone chose you. That's why you say you were chosen. But who chose you? We live in a realm of deception, and I think we're being deceived on every level. We're being deceived in our dreams. We're being deceived when we have a psychedelic experience. We're being deceived when we have an NDE. We're being deceived on every level. We live in the realm of deception. And as long as we're attached to this realm, we're going to be deceived. So what's going to happen once you leave this place? You're going to meet some beings that are going to tell you that you were chosen and that the ones that chose you. So you need to go back and work on this and work on that. And you find yourself making deals with these beings. Okay. Ogboyana to. Mara ta hlwela ku oma musi.
Hlwela ngopfu.
Mara loko ti oma na swi tiva ku ta pfumela ta pfuna.
Se problem I ku to oma se ta qala.
Ivi ti vekiwa ti oma.
Lava to oma ti kumeki nyamuti.
So it is tempting to believe that you are the chosen one. You are the one. You are Neo in the Matrix. I'd rather be Agent Smith. I like Smith. But it's really tempting to believe that you're chosen. This reminds me of this other scene from one of my favorite movies, Kung Fu Hansu. If you've watched that movie, I know you love it. It's a very brilliant movie, one of the dopest movies that I've ever watched. So these guys, called the X gang. They went to this other village where they were looking for this kung fu master that they thought lived in that village. So they kind of like destroyed the whole village, and there were, you know, a couple of kung fu masters. So they fought these people and beat them. But unfortunately, some people died. So this other dude, he's a very funny dude. He asked these kung fu masters that, hey, you need to teach us all that you know so that we'll defend ourselves. And this other lady is a very advanced kung fu master. He's like, I mean, it takes years to teach someone how to practice kung fu, unless you are chosen, unless you are naturally born with that talent, and chances of that are about 1 in a million. And that guy said, oh, it's obvious, I'm the chosen one. And she knocked him out right away. And she was like, he doesn't have what it takes. That scene is actually funny. But yeah, everyone wants to be chosen. I don't think there's a person who doesn't want to be chosen. Like, no matter what religion you believe in, if you believe in Christianity, you want to be someone important in Christianity, right? You want to be a prophet, for an example. Like, I know people who've been fasting, praying every day because they want to prophesy. It even gets to a point where they lie to people because they want to be prophets, you see. So they lie, you know, convince themselves that they are hearing from God. I know people who would speak in tongues knowing damn well that they're making that shit up, but you know, they want to believe that they have the Holy Spirit. You know, I know people who would fall, you know, pretend as if they were touched because they want to feel like they were chosen and covered in gold. So it is tempting to believe that you are chosen. But the truth is that this realm actually sucks. That is the truth. And we're being manipulated on every level. Is it? When you look at how people, like the average person, is being manipulated in this realm, you should actually realize that the experience that we're having is not good. You know, when you realize how the people who are not easy to manipulate are suffering in this realm, you should actually realize that what is happening to humanity isn't good. You must realize that we weren't put here for our own growth, for our own enlightenment, like, you know, like we're made to believe, you know. Because it seems like all religions actually teach that we're in some kind of a hell, or we are suffering because of the bad decisions that we're making, or because we are not close to God. So we need to find a way to connect with God, and that is how we're going to get rid of suffering. But it's a trap, you know, because people are going to be born and they're going to make mistakes. And you know, in every generation there's going to be people who are different, who are going to believe themselves to be chosen. Even back then there were people who thought they were chosen, you know. There will always be people who feel different. There will always be people who will be able to see the truth in lies, and they're going to feel alone, and it's going to be hard for them to connect with other people. So they're going to feel like, oh, the reason why I'm unable to connect with other people is because I was chosen. Well, the truth is that their intelligence is like a side effect, right? The Matrix wanted talented people. The Matrix wanted conscious people. The Matrix wanted creative people. The Matrix wanted innovators. People who game changers, you know. The Matrix want this kind of people. But they have to be intelligent to be game changers. They have to be intelligent to be innovators, you know. They have to be intelligent to be creative. So they see what is going on, and they're like, no man, I don't like how things work in this realm. Something is obviously wrong. How is it that other people do not see that something is wrong? I mean, it's easy to see that something is wrong, but you see that other people do not see that it's wrong. They were not meant to see what you see. So they'll have to convince themselves that something is wrong with you. You see, if you are supposed to be a very creative person, maybe a poet, maybe a songwriter, an artist, and you don't like pursue that path and start to like look at how things really work in the world, it's easy for you to awaken and see that something wrong is going on. That is why depression is common among people who can write. If you realize that people who can actually write, people who can write books, people who can write poems, depression is common among this kind of people. You know, people who can write songs. When you listen to the stories of artists who became successful, who are great songwriters, you realize that some of them, or most of them, actually suffered a lot in life, and they suffered because they couldn't really connect with other people. They felt alone. Some of them even wanted to end things at some point because they truly felt alone before they succeeded. The problem is that these people fall into traps. I know a lot of spiritual teachers who've fallen into traps, who became cult leaders. They didn't realize that they were very intelligent beings. They were very conscious beings. They weren't chosen. They were just intelligent and conscious. But they convinced themselves that they were chosen, and they created some cults where they will teach people what they know. But they took it too far, made a lot of mistakes, and ended up getting locked up. Nature Boy, for an example. Damn, it's too windy today, man. It's too windy. Charles Manson. I think there's this guy, I think his name is Richard Evans or something like that. Like, a lot of cult leaders, man, like, they believe they were chosen, right? Instead of realizing that, no, we are in a trap. All of us are in this trap. All of us are in this trap. And really, if you don't want more and more people to be trapped, you should just stop creating more people. Like, that is really the answer. You cannot come into this world and then awaken and see what is actually going on. See that animals are eating each other like crazy. Like, animals have to live in fear, you know. A prey has to live in fear because it's going to suffer. When a lion is eating a rabbit, it's going to experience pleasure, but the rabbit is going to be suffering, you know. Bones being broken, or like, that's fucking scary, bro. Like, you have to see this realm for what it is. It is not different from being trapped in like a Hunger Game, for example. Like, they just trap you in a world where you would have to unalive other people in order to survive. Like, that's it. Because that's the game here. Even though we are not unaliving other people to survive, but animals have to unalive other animals in order to survive. That should tell you something. That's how we've been programmed. We shouldn't just say, oh, it's just nature, it's just nature. You know, and you know, I think that's the reason why these beings have you know, hid themselves from us, is because we will ask them a lot of questions. We'll ask them why they don't change things, why they want things to be this way. because this doesn't make any sense. So these beings don't want us to ask them questions. I mean, imagine if God appeared. We'll be asking him a lot of questions. Why is there so much suffering in the world? Why are you letting innocent people suffer who have not done anything? You let people be treated like slaves. You let people work shitty jobs. You let people pray for years without, answering their prayers. You let people end things. Like there are a lot of things that people really go through in this realm. Why do you allow this nonsense to go on? Why don't you try to make things better in people's lives? Because it seems like everything is rigged. It's not like they're suffering really because they are bad or because something wrong has happened. It seems like you just want things to be this way. So I think these beings hid from us because they don't want us to ask them questions, because we'll be asking them questions. Just like people are complaining, for example, people are complaining about the people who are making decisions for them. People complaining about Biden being too old. Imagine if God was like Biden. Everyone will be complaining. Like, that's the reason why this place sucks. Yeah. Everyone will be complaining. Be like, oh, this guy is just an asshole. That's why this place sucks. But if you don't know him, you can't judge him. You can't really communicate with him. You don't know him. He stays hidden. But that should make you suspicious. Even if you're a Christian and you really believe that there is a God who decided to keep himself hidden from you, you should ask yourself why this dude kept himself hidden from you. It doesn't really tell you what is actually going on. Sometimes it speaks to you, but not in a way that is clear. You have to read the Bible and get some revelations, and that's it. Like, it doesn't give you a clear message. You don't really hear his voice, Sometimes it gives you like wrong prophecies. Like you have to be suspicious. You have to ask yourself, what if I'm being manipulated? Just because you can hear voices does not mean that you're not being manipulated. It doesn't mean that you can trust the source. You see, we know too little to trust anyone. That's the thing. We know too little to trust anyone in this realm. So even if an alien appeared and told us where we come from, like, we'll still need to be suspicious, because this is not really making sense. You see, these religions that we believe in are not really helping us. Believing that you're chosen is not really helping anyone, really. Because if you're chosen, you can't have to have some superpowers. I mean, these people who believe themselves to be chosen, they still go through what other people go through. At the end of the day, you just realize that they're just more intelligent than a lot of people, so they believe themselves to be chosen. You see, they don't have some superpowers. Some of them end up getting arrested, and then their followers believe that, oh, is the government trying to silence this person? Nah. It's not a reason. They don't need to silence anyone, really. They don't need to silence anyone. I think if I got arrested, it will mean that the government is trying to silence me. Or if I was unalive to some, why would they need to silence? Like, they're in control of this realm. You understand? They're in control of this realm. Like, watching my video talking about what is going on doesn't really help a lot. It does help, but not a lot. Like, you have to work on yourself. Like, you have to do the work. Every single day I'm working on becoming more and more conscious. I'm working on detaching myself, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It's easy to fall into different traps. It's easy to keep yourself distracted. It's not easy, man, to truly stand within your own power and not allow the tricks that are being played on you to affect you. Now, I've been telling you that this is not even the real reality, and that is why we don't know where we actually come from. If it was the real reality, we'll know a lot of things. We'll know a lot more than we know. This is some kind of a dream. That's why we know nothing. Just like when you're in a dream, you don't really know anything. You don't know how the dream started. You're just given crazy background stories that you end up believing. Isn't it weird to you that you believe the craziest things in your dreams, and that should make you worried. And the fact that you believe the craziest things in your dreams, you can have a dream where you are a rabbit and actually believe that you are a rabbit. You don't even question why am I a rabbit now? What happened? Like, you don't even question that. You can have a dream where you are living with aliens. You're not even going to ask yourself, where do these aliens come from? You're just going to believe what is happening. Like, you can be manipulated in so many different ways in your dreams. You can find yourself living with a person that you don't like in this realm, like someone you have problems with, someone that you don't ever want to see again. You can have a dream where you're living with them in the same house and you're cool with them, and you don't remember that no, me and this person ain't cool. This person stole from me, this person betrayed me. It's like we are being hypnotized. That will actually explain why some people believe in these religions that they believe in. It's like they are in a hypnotic state where they can't think clearly. So even when someone who's more conscious than they are tell them that, hey man, like what you believe in really doesn't make sense. I mean, how is it that you don't see that it doesn't make sense? Like, no, it does make sense. Jesus said this. Jesus said that Jesus is coming back. Jesus warned us about you people. Like, what? Like, some people are just more conscious than others. Just like you can have dreams where you are, as conscious as you are in this realm. You can have those kind of dreams, but in some dreams you are less conscious than you are in this realm, so you find yourself believing things that you wouldn't believe in this realm. But we're being manipulated so much that it doesn't really make sense to believe that there are people in this realm who were chosen to come and save us, to come and show us the way. Especially if these people don't demonstrate some superpowers. But even if they were able to show us some superpowers, that wouldn't necessarily mean that they were chosen. Or, I mean, that wouldn't necessarily mean that they were sent here by entities that actually want to save us. It could be another trick that they're trying to use on us to keep us trapped. You see? The same way that Christians were given Jesus. Like, you can see that it's another trick to keep them trapped. You see? They believe that they're on the right path. They believe that the whole world is on the wrong path. But you can see, like, once you escape the lies of Christianity, you see that, no, man, these people are being brainwashed. That's the reason why they believe nonsense, is because they're being brainwashed. The human consciousness is very easy to manipulate. The human consciousness is very easy. Have you ever watched like optical illusions? Ever been shown things that you thought or shown shapes that seem different once it was explained to you that it was not those shapes that you thought you were seeing? Like, it's easy for the human consciousness to be manipulated. Very, very easy. And we're being deceived every day. To be honest with you, we're being deceived every day. So we're being deceived on many different levels, not just on one level. We're being deceived in our dreams, we're being deceived in this realm, we're being deceived when we're having psychedelic experiences, spiritual experiences. like we are being deceived. So it is important that we wake up and realize that we are in some kind of a hell realm, and whatever trick this realm, is trying to use to keep us trapped, we'll be ahead of it somehow. There's a reason why we're being manipulated. We're being manipulated because really we are powerful. You wouldn't need to manipulate something that is not powerful, something that doesn't have the ability to free itself. You will not manipulate it. You'll let it know what is going on and tell it to obey because you are more powerful than it is. You see, but if you know that no, this thing does have the ability to free itself, so I need to manipulate it. It's like if you have a bird in a cage, you don't need to manipulate it. You don't need to make it believe that it's free. It knows it's not free, and you know that it can't really escape, so there's no need for you to manipulate it. But if it was not in a cage and you wanted it to live with you, you kind of have to manipulate it in so many different ways to keep it. I think I'm about to catch some flu. Damn, it's windy, man. It's really, really windy today. It's usually windy in August. If you are still fooled by magicians, people who perform magic tricks, how do you think you're going to see how you're being deceived in this reality if you are being fooled by magicians? If you are being fooled by fake prophets, like it's scary how Christians are being fooled by fake prophets, bro. How are they going to wake up? I mean, in the after, like these people seem like they're trapped here forever. It's really windy. I don't know if this microphone is going to be able to handle the wind. But I'll be really impressed if it's going to be able to handle the wind, because it's like really, really windy. If I was not wearing glasses, I would not even be able to see. It's easy to think, well, I'm a light worker. I was sent into this world to bring light and love and to heal people, to make people feel better because, well, life is hard, I was sent here to guide people. It's easy to believe that you have spirit guides, right, that are talking to you, that are guiding you, showing you numbers. 11:11. It's easy to believe all of that. I mean, what are you supposed to believe anyway? I mean, you want comfort. You want to believe that this is a good experience. There's a good explanation for what is going on in the world. All of this can really be explained and it will make sense. Like, you want to believe that, you know, you've been programmed to want to justify the things that are happening in this world since you were little, and you've been trying to justify these things for a very long time. You've probably been through a lot in your life, but you kind of forgot what you had to go through because you've been programmed to think you're having a positive experience. You know, maybe you've convinced yourself that what you've been through it for a reason. Your girl broke your heart because God was trying to save you. You know, she was actually evil and God was trying to save you. Yeah, that guy who left you with a baby, left you with the baby because he was evil, all this. Like, your own mind will believe anything to, you know, that makes you feel comfortable. You're supposed to look at yourself as the hero of your own story. Like, the whole world is kind of like against you, but in the end you are the one who's gonna win, and it's gonna make sense. Like, when you watch movies, like I haven't watched a movie that doesn't like really have a happy ending. So even when the main character really goes through a lot, in the end something good is gonna happen. So you kind of believe that life is like that. Like, no, it's gonna make sense in the end. The story is gonna make sense in the end. Even though you can see that other people's stories do not make sense. A lot of people have really lived meaningless lives. People who had more faith than you. People who were much more careful than you. Much more calculated than you. People who didn't make a lot of mistakes. I don't think we can truly be in control in this realm. We're in this state where we are supposed to believe nonsense, the same way that we believe nonsense in our dreams. So really, we need to work on detaching ourselves, you know, not believing these stories that life is giving us. Not believe the background stories that, oh, this is happening because I'm a bad person. This is happening because this person is evil. My mom is selfish because she's evil. This and like, wait, don't look at it. Don't look at things that way. Maybe she's being controlled. Maybe she's being manipulated, just like you are being manipulated. Maybe all of us are being played. Maybe everyone is being played in this reality. So you need to have more empathy when dealing with people. And always keep an open mind. Work more on detaching yourself or not taking things too seriously. Work more on stressing less. Thank you all guys.